we go. How's the Purple Wolfgang sounding? Her name is officially Violetta. What's everybody think? We're going to be jamming on this thing today, having some fun. We have got a lot of stuff lined up for you, T. A couple of announcements. We got some cool stuff happening, so let's get started. Let's see. We have some people joining us today. We have, first off, we have Mr. R2R3.
Cheers, everyone.
How is it going, my brother?
Good, my friend. Brother man. Good to see you. Welcome back to me. I'm glad to be back, man.
Been away for a little while. Hope everything is going well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, it is Sunday, 5:05 p.m. Eastern, 6/4/2023. So let's see who else we got waiting in the wings here. We have from the Great White North, we have Mr. Symmetry Trev.
Thanks, everybody.
Sunday fun day. Welcome in. How's things in the world with you?
Oh, another day in paradise, man.
Same old, huh?
You bet.
Cool, man.
Life
We
is
also
good.
have waiting down there is Mr. John Shane.
Hey.
Welcome in, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, are you ready to unleash upon the
The
world
beast?
your announcement, or should we hold that for a little while?
Let's hold it for a little while.
Okay, we'll hold it for just.
Oh, man, it's exciting.
More?
Yeah, we'll make everybody just kind of wait for that one. But
All right.
so everybody's doing good today, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful
little
day out up here in Vancouver.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, what, 75?
Yeah.
A little
Nice.
bit breezy, so it's
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like you guys have had much hotter weather than even we have down in the southern eastern area
definitely
here.
had a California-type spring so far.
Yeah. It's about
Yeah, what did you guys in the 90 degrees? Because we've been in the past couple few days 90 plus up here in Chicago.
We got some more of that coming in a few days.
Yeah.
But lately it's just been 75, 80.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
right
nice
now
here
it's
today. About
70.
78.
Beautiful.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm a little tired today. I've had a long weekend. I need a vacation for my weekend. Had some late night hangs with Trev and John, and then we had Fruitcake Tony's show yesterday, which was a lot of fun.
Blast.
Hope a lot of people were able to check that out. If you weren't, go and take a look at the replay. And
Trivia sucks.
How'd the
I was
after
there.
party go?
after party was good. Yeah. Had a lot of fun hanging out. Just telling some stories and having a good time. So
I missed it. I woke up this morning at 3 a.m, man, because I crashed out early, and I see your message. Come on in, man. We're back in the green room. I'm like,
yeah.
damn it.
Yeah, we were waiting for you. We figured that you'd crashed out or something.
Man, I was
So-
working all day Saturday.
Well, let's open up the chat, see who's here. We got 40 comments so far. Let me scroll on up to the top. We'll just welcome everybody in real quick. We had Rob Blackmore was here early. I don't know if he's back in
man?
here yet, but welcome in, Rob. We had Ronald Young following him up. Welcome in, Ronald. Good to see you.
Bro.
And then Tim Thomas. Hey, now. What's going on, Tim?
Brother.
We've got Dan Gorman, OU812. What's up, bro? Almost jam time. You ready, my good man? Absolutely, Dan. I'm ready to go. Thanks for joining in.
Good to see you, Dan.
Mr. Mick saying hello. Ryan R2.
Cheers, brother.
You got Trev and you got John down there as well. Let's see. Mr. Mick says congratulations on winning the EVH pick on Tony's channel last night. Thank you. Appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Man, I was sweating it. I was sweating it too. After I was more nervous with that than I am coming on here and playing guitar. After that, I was finished.
What was the
up, man.
question? I missed the question. What was it?
I threw in the towel,
Well,
man. What was the question? Because I quit after the first one.
The first question was, what was the name of the Gibson guitar with
Birdland,
the combination of, I forget the guy's name, but it was something Bird and the other one.
Yeah, it's an easy one. I was like, Birdland. Yeah,
But
I got that one.
I looked at the last names, and just so happened that when I went to the guitar shop and picked this up, when I walked in the door, the first thing in the door when you walk in is a case, and it had one of the Birdland guitars in it. And if anybody remembers in the chat from a couple of shows ago, we had talked about Ted Nugent and what kind of guitar he plays.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yep, and we had it answered in the chat that it was the Birdland, so it was fresh on my mind. And as soon as I saw those two names, I was like, Birdland. And then the second question was know the show, which I knew the answer, but I just couldn't think of it. And it was Tony's 100th subscriber, who that was.
Emily Ratajkowski.
He he had talked about it on the show, and I remember it being mentioned a time or two. And I think even Quentin James was the answer. I think he's even mentioned that before. So I just could not remember it. And then, you know what? Yeah, the shootout was Beach Boys had done a B-side.
The Charles Manson answer. And
Charles
I was
Manson.
upstairs eating at the time.
Yeah.
And my kid actually shouted that out. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, how do you know that? Yeah.
She's like, I got it right. Tell him I got it right. I'm like, nah, you didn't type
You
it
know,
in the chat.
I was sitting here and I'm like, man, I just don't know. I can't think of it. And then it was only two of us that could answer. And I heard Tony say, well, you know, it's only the two of you, so one of you better get to typing on Google. So I'm not ashamed.
Nope.
Googled it real quick. So it was a lot of fun. So thank you, Tony, if you're in here. Let me continue down with the chat here. Jimmy Ray Hawkinson's here. Welcome in. Let's see. Going to make some of this show. Hello, chat people. Sunday cheers to all. R2R3, OU812, Dan Gorman, Mr. Mix, saying hello to everybody. Welcome in, Jimmy Ray.
Rock on, brother.
And Jimmy Ray last night was kind enough to offer to donate some picks to Tony's show. So, Jimmy Ray, good man there.
Jimmy Ray's the man. He's the one that's donating that.
The guitar to Under the Bus.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Awesome stuff. Big round of applause for Jimmy Ray Hawkins.
Stand up, dude.
Jimmy Ray and I
very
have
cool, man.
something in common, man. Our kids are exactly the same age, born in the same year. It was the weirdest thing on the age gap of the kids. But anyways,
Right on.
cheers, brother.
We got Patrick Trites in here. Welcome in, Patrick. Good to see you again. Stephen Franklin. Yo, let's go.
Oh, brother, man.
What's up, YouTube family? How's it going, Stephen? Good to see you.
Hey, brother.
Let's see. There's Symmetry. There's John. There's
Yo.
Fruitcake Tony.
Yo,
Welcome
man.
in. Welcome in. Again, like I said, everybody, check out the description down below Mr. Trev Symmetry there.
Great
And,
night, Tony.
geez,
Great night, man. But
You'll
Tony
find-
knows what I'm talking about when I say
Yeah.
this. I'm going to interrupt you for just a moment, Ryan. I was talking to these guys in the green room, and I said, trivia sucks, man. I'm just going to tell you, trivia sucks. And this goes back to my old show. I'm wearing the shirt right now with my old co-host. And we used to do trivia. And I used to be the moderator for the trivia, I guess, with lack of a better word. And we used to get into a lot of arguments. Not argument. I wouldn't argue with anybody. I would just say, that's the rule. It would just lay it out. I'm the man. I'm going to call it. Whatever I see first. I see on the chat here what comes up first is the winner. So I would announce the winner. And I would get a lot of individuals that would just say, bullshit, F you, F this. I mean, I could probably throw beer bottles against the wall, probably at their computer screen. And I'm like, hey, man, this is what I saw. This is where the order that I saw the answer come in.
Hashtag
So
rigged.
yesterday, I answered that question. Birdland. I'm like, I know that answer. There's no doubt. I mean, the first couple of words I read, I go, boom. I typed it in. And I'm like, I'm in, man. I started even doing a dance. I'm like, I got this one. And then 5 other answers are before it. I go, F this, man. I'm out. I go, no way. And I sat there and I go, now I know why people used to get upset.
I tell you what, R2R3, as a consolation, I'll send you the eggplant pick.
Oh. All right, yeah, I'll take it, man. That's
How's
cool.
that, man? A little consolation prize for you.
I'll make a
All right.
video.
So anyway, good to see you, Tony. Always good to see you in here. We appreciate you supporting us. We've got Hit Metal Works. What's going on, Ken? Good to see you.
Yo, bro.
Let's see who else is in here. Lots of folks here. Guitar Man 45. What's going on, Bo? Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, Bo Cephas Mode is here. Welcome back, man.
Exactly
Good to
the
see
mode
you.
I'm in right now.
Right? just a little bit less than 5150. When you say 5150?
Beauty, eh?
I love that.
Little abbreviated version there.
Delicious.
All right, let's get back to the chat here. James G, welcome in. We got William Da Silva. Good to see
Right
you.
on.
There's Rob Blackmore. He is in here. Good to see you, Rob. Richard Poole's joining us. Good to see you,
Right
Richard.
on.
Welcome
You,
in.
Richard. Yeah, man.
Let's
What's up,
see.
man?
Mr. Dwight
Why?
Bailey.
Up the hit man.
Welcome in, Dwight. Good to see you.
That guy
Yes.
has got some nice guitars. Go check out his channel.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Janice is here. Welcome in, Janice. Good to see you.
Yes.
Hey, Janice.
Mr. Joe Hervey 84. I believe that's a new name I haven't seen before.
Oh,
Welcome
yeah.
in.
Oh, Joe's been
Welcome,
in the
Joe.
community for a long time.
Very
He's out at the
cool.
Ben Coombs stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in and joining us. Glad
Joe
to
Harvey.
have
How
you.
you doing, buddy?
Glad to have you. We have Blackjack Guitar is in. Welcome in.
What's up, brother?
Right on.
And I believe that's the end of the chat there. So I think we've got everybody welcomed. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Shout out there at the end of the chat, and I'll catch you. But yeah, welcome everybody. And let's get started. If we haven't
27
already.
watching. 13 thumbs up.
Wait,
Very
I got
cool.
an
Just in case you
got an
forgot.
announce-
13,000 people.
announcement to make here. It's official.
Okay.
Fruitcake Tony says, R2's the king of trivia.
There you go. Little consolation statement for you.
Thank you, brother.
We don't know
I think
if it's true,
Christopher might have something to say about
but yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the guy who's at literally in concerts, at a concert, watching a show, can't hear it, but can read the question and still answer in the chat and win.
And he's probably answering on his Apple phone or Apple
right.
Watch.
Apple Watch,
You
exactly.
know, where you got to draw the
And
answers.
At the same time, the guitar player's throwing the pick and he's catching
And
it.
he's catching it, yeah, like Buck Cheese did.
Yeah, like butt cheeks. That was amazing.
I don't know. I think I hear, Tony, a little idea for your trivia, a little throwdown, the Champion of Champions trivia throwdown. How about that? Get your highest couple of winners and let them have at it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And,
be
and
cool.
do it on camera. So everybody's like,
There you go. Have
waiting
them.
to see bullshit. I did it first. I mean, you've got
Yep.
the panel of judges.
Have
here.
them on the panel, where they can see the questions first, and then whoever, yells it out.
And then before they answer the question, they have to do a shot, chug a beer, spin around 3 times, and then answer it.
and they have to ring in. They're like, I get it.
I got it.
or
Buzzer.
blow their air horn. I got it. It's too much. Let's see. So what's been going on, Trev? How you been doing?
Oh, doing really well.
Getting your hours in?
Enjoying things. Yeah. I mean, last night after Tony's, sat out here for a few hours, just hanging out.
I didn't see any new
Dark.
videos popping up, so
No, we didn't find anything that grooved
No
in the
oysters?
fashion that I felt I needed to share it.
No oysters.
No oysters. No pearls. No
No
oysters.
pearls.
But yeah, no, I get the hours in. I've hit par again, so I'm over 400 for the year. I mean, it should be at 500 by the end of this month, right?
That's cool.
Mathematically speaking.
Statistically speaking.
But I mean, a lot of those hours are bullshit hours, kind of half cut out here, just running the major scale. But you can do that for half an hour. That still counts as doing laps.
oh yeah, for sure. Let's see. Fruitcake
Good up
Tony
there.
has said
Good up
that Sawa, Lenny Lou, Keith have all won more than 10 times each.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good throwdown to me.
Yep.
I'll just say I won because it was a tie. I tied with somebody. There was just no way. These guys are good.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
even Trev. I mean, Trev's won because I mean,
I've got a couple.
Yeah,
One of them
got a
was a
couple.
Google search. That was for the $1 million bill and the backstage pass.
The $1 million
and I-
bill, huh?
But
I know
was
this sounds like an
there
excuse.
was a show they had to cancel, and random Google searching
yes,
Fine.
yeah.
through the
There it
answers.
is.
1
Yeah.
million Van Halen bucks.
Flip side.
And see, every time the trivia come on, I'd be in the middle of dinner. I'd always be eating, and I'll have the TV going on, and I'll be eating, let's say, some pizza or something with the family, and I'd hear the question, and I'd run to the computer real quick and I'll be right back.
Throw over.
Dang it!
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Dad?
I've never won on trivia.
Really?
No.
Oh, you got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, you gotta
Well,
be
the fact that I
fast.
answer every question with Emily Ratajkowski doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to help.
Tony, get the questions right.
Well,
Got
maybe
the
The broken
answer.
clock is right twice a day, so
Yeah.
sooner or later.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he'll
See, my,
do like he
my
did for.
favorite question. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe he'll do like he did for Quentin James. You know, Quentin James always answered Jessica Alba,
Jessica, oh, yeah, you can throw one in there.
so
And he
favorite
wasn't
is
there
always
that
the-
night.
he
Gear
crafted a question that the answer was Jessica Alba.
Now, if you got gear questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what kind of rag did Daddy use or what, you know, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the only ones I get close at.
Right. You're just like, dude, you're in my realm here.
Yeah.
But when you're talking
in
about, like,
1979, this
what?
picture shows Eddie Van or
Yeah.
David Lee Roth. I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
A variety of questions. I
Here,
mean, that Black Sabbath question yesterday was a great question. You know, what was the opening song during the '78 tour of Black Sabbath? And I'm saying,
I'd see, and you
Symptom of
forget.
the
You're,
universe, of
oh,
course.
he said 78. You're thinking of like a different era.
that was pre-Dio, wasn't it? And Dio wasn't until like 80, 81.
Yeah. That 78 was still with Ozzy, and they were doing the Never Say Die, I believe.
Right.
No, I thought I knew a lot about classic music, classic rock music, until I ran into Tony's show. There's, I'm an idiot.
But some of them though, you'll you know they'll give the answer or somebody will answer it, and then you're like, oh yes, I knew that.
Right.
You know, it's just buried so far back in there, and you can't
how many-
access it.
How many
I
times
also
has Tony
try to
said,
remember.
when I give you guys the answer, you guys are going to just
Gonna
it's
kick
gonna be-
yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Read the
Yeah, yeah.
description because Tony puts Easter eggs in the description. Sometimes the
That's
answer's
true.
sitting
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there at the
Yep.
bottom of the paragraph.
Yep. Sometimes
Just
he'll
gotta
have it
look.
down
Even
there.
with that, I'm
so
like,
cool.
oh, I'm going to type this in, and Andy Carson's already like, he's there. Oh, I already typed the answer. I'm like, that son of a.
He's got plutonium internet connection too, right? So,
Well, you know, when you think about it, it's all fun for the community, and it's a good time for friends.
I'm
to
just
hang
messing
out, you
around
know.
when I say it, but I still say
It's,
trivia sucks.
Joe Hervey84 says I lost to Crowbar on Live Wires years ago. He let me get the prize. What a guy! I still lost. It's just not as sweet though, you know.
Here, let me post this real quick,
Yeah.
Ryan. Here. It's right there.
He's the original OG, huh?
Right on.
So that's why you haven't recommended doing it on here. Is you
The trivia, 'cause,
Yeah.
dude, it causes. Well, you know what? I'll say this. Maybe it's me. Tony and Butt Cheeks and everyone on the panel there have a good way of just calm the waters down a little bit, let everybody know, chill out ahead of time. You know, this is all for fun. Chill out. It's all cool in the gang. For some reason, when it was on our show, man, people wanted to fight. They just wanted.
gladiator pit.
Yeah, they're just
yeah.
like, that's it, man. Forget the trivia, dude. Let's arm wrestle. It's like,
Rough
dude,
crowd.
you guys are in Canada. I'm Chicago. What are you talking about?
I'll come beat you up.
Everybody have a gummy.
Yeah,
Settle down.
everybody just chill pill.
Now
Joe's
we
telling
just tell everyone, just do a video. Let's do a video or something. Put a guitar video out. Put out your best stuff out, man. Then show me what you got. Now shut up, man. There you go.
yeah. Joe's congratulating Tony's on the 3 years again. Congrats,
Yeah,
Tony.
congratulations,
3
man.
years, man. Let's see. Rob Blackmore says, "Yep, sometimes you just can't pull that out of the memory banks."
Well,
Randy
he was
Price,
saying,
welcome in, man. What's good?
What's up, Randy?
Tony was saying, when you guys hear the answer, you're going to kick yourself. I heard the answer, and there was no kicking. Like, nope, new knowledge.
You're like, what? Yeah, you write that down. There's something
You
new
feel
today.
the new synapse fire there in the brain. Put
That's
that
right.
in there. Yep.
Randy
Yeah,
Price, man.
everyone
Thank
going
you.
300 on the trivia stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I just
Get your war face on.
sorry to interrupt you. Randy Price, I apologize. And the last time I was on, that was like, what, a month ago when I was on the show?
Something like that. Yeah.
It seems like it. He was asking me, because I played a video. I think you stepped out for a moment, Ryan. You went to go do something. And I just started showing some of my videos, on my channel. And,
Shotgunning. He was shotgunning them one after the other. Boom,
while
boom,
the
boom,
cat's
boom.
away, the mice will play. Huh?
My God, I even said it. I go, Ryan's not going to like this, so let's do this real quick. Because
That Metallica one was really good, though, R2. I really like that one. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Because Trev wanted to hear Gojira. And I go, dude, I got a good Gojira tone.
So very
And they're good.
beautiful.
Right? Yeah. And I go, dude, I got to play this one. And Trev was like, that's the
Hear it
song to
again.
play, man.
Now that you mention it, I kind of want to hear it again.
I'll wait until Ryan
Got
goes out
Mitch.
and has a beer or something.
Till I got to water the rock. Yeah.
No, but I showed in one of the videos I was playing my custom shop Charvel, and I was watching the replay the next day, and Randy Price about 3 or 4 times was like, R2, is that a custom shop Charvel? R2, is that a custom shop Charvel?
Right.
R2, or is that a custom shop Charvel? Exclamation point. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Sorry, man. It was this. We were just talking and rambling, and I had to answer later on the show. I'm like, yes, dude, there was a USA custom shop.
In your defense, I've been to other shows and I'm like, I'll type something in. I'm like, why don't they answer my question? Now that I'm doing this and I have the chat going, it is very difficult to keep up and catch every question that comes through. So, once I hit 1,000 subs, though, you can send a super chat and it'll be highlighted. So we'll be sure to catch it.
Like, oh, we got it now.
Yeah, it's very difficult to catch every question that rolls through there. So.
Especially if you're not added and it doesn't get that little highlighted name box going.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, a lot of times I'm just looking here at the StreamYard. I don't even see, anything highlighted
I
over
give
here.
up on the StreamYard feed because they don't have the dark mode. So I do the pop out. I've got it at 150 zoom so I can see it without.
You don't need your glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, R2, what's the neck shape on that Charvel?
Oh man, it's going back to the old school. It's the old school Charvel shape.
So it's it's like a deep C or something?
It's a deep sea, but it just still has that ergonomic kind of carve to it.
I love those old ones.
Yeah. So I mean, when the Music Zoo, it's in a Music Zoo exclusive. When they started doing the Natural series, they wanted to make it true to the original Charvels back in the day, and I just fell in love with it, with the single coil, no middle pickup humbucker, and I was like, that's just there you go, man. Oh my goodness, just fell in love with it. It's one piece mahogany. You can get it with like Koa, ash. At the time, they put different variables in it, but one piece maple neck.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I ever experienced a neck with like that gun stock coil.
Yeah.
Just that natural feel. Oh my goodness. And the frets are just unbelievable. And Mike Shannon had a lot to do with that, the carvings and the shaping of the neck and the frets. I mean, the neck and the necks are stamped in the back. They have their own serial number, but in the back it has Mike Shannon's serial number and stamped in the back. Let's say TMZ 032 or whatever. Just no paint job. The guitar just rings out. The pickup is cool rail in the neck and a custom 5.
Custom 5, okay.
Custom 5 in the bridge. Original Floyd Rose.
I know the guy that I get to work on my guitars, he's got, stacks of them, and he's got seven of those old school Charvels, and there's some of them are just ridiculously painted, but as soon as you wrap your hand around the neck, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's
Feels
the
like
neck.
home, huh?
It's the
Yeah.
neck. It's unbelievable. It's what until you try one of those old Charvel necks that you
Yep.
completely understand it. You go, I get it now. I get it.
Not to
and
be too far off in the weeds, were those the OG San Dimas ones then?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
And how long have you had that one, R2?
that's a 2006, 2007. Yeah.
Is that one that you keep in the case and you only take it out for special occasions, or?
That's the one that's really sensitive to the temperature changes, just because it has no lacquer, no finish on it.
It breathes. Yeah.
It
Does
breathes.
the frets sprout and everything on you?
It sometimes, but if I keep the house temperature, climate control, everything's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the same one you had the trouble with the truss rod, is it?
Um.
Or was that the Jackson Kelly?
The Jackson Kelly doesn't move at all. That one, oh my goodness! I don't know what they did to that guitar. I don't know if it has anything to do with the neck through neck, but no, the Charbel. That's the one I was having some issues with, because at that time my humidifier connected to my furnace and air conditioning went out. So I'm like, okay, I don't have my humidifier anymore. So I had these little portable humidifiers around the house, but it wasn't doing the trick. And that's when I noticed that guitar was the one that was
It's dry in
changing.
Chicago,
Yeah. When the heat comes out,
even with the lake there, eh?
yeah, it all varies. We'll have some that I went through years that everything's fine, but we'll have certain years that just all of a sudden it's just this heat, and you're going, what the heck? And the expansion, the contraction. I'm like, oh my gosh, the Charbel was sensitive to it. My Fender 89 Fender Strat was doing it as well. Not so much with the neck sprout, but just the shifting of the neck. The frets would buzz, and I knew that guitar would, for years, would just hold intact. But
Yeah. And too, an enclosed house with a furnace running gas heat or whatever, you're creating your own environment in there, and it's drying that out big time.
yeah.
So
That's how I like
If
it.
you're not compensating for it.
you like it real dry,
Like a desert. I love it.
really?
And we don't get a lot of that out here on the West Coast. We technically live in a rainforest.
Yeah. Interesting.
It doesn't help that I'm out in the tone shack, which is uninsulated, and it's basically plywood walls and some glass and shit. And
He has to wipe the
in the
mildew
winter.
off his Marshall every week, right?
I don't have much in the way of mold or mildew in here.
Get the Clorox wipes and wipe it down.
Yep.
Because I've always got the heaters plugged in when that's the case. When it's pissing rain in December and dark all the time, the heater's going out here trying shit up.
Well, R2, you're getting a compliment there. Joe says you
Yeah,
killer
Joe,
player,
great.
more metal.
thank
Hey,
you,
he's
brother.
awesome,
Joe.
man.
Thank
Randy
you.
says, my luthier I used is a guy by the name of Willie Houston. He worked for Charvel back in the 80s. He's got some cool stuff laying around from back then and some cool stories. Very cool.
That,
Yeah, Randy Price has got some cool Charvels.
And Janice has gas heat.
It's been 32 minutes, and we got 27 watching. Is it time to tell us, John, what's in the box?
what's in the box?
You got
Well-
an unboxing?
Technically, no.
I think it's already unboxed.
He could show us the empty box. What was in the box?
I've been really inspired by Ryan's rig, so it's been right in the back here thinking about this wet, dry, wet thing.
Every day.
So one of the necessary components, necessary in quotations, is that EVH pedal. So I figured, well, they're probably back ordered, and like Bo, I'd have to gonna wait till winter
Get
to
on the
get
list.
one, and so I called my local Long McQuaid, our big box store up here. I said, well, we just got one in last night. I said, okay,
On the way.
on the way. So they opened
Put
at
it up.
10, and I think by 10:35 I had it in my
Had it
truck.
and gone. Nice.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
you've already got it hooked up in
do have it hooked.
preparation.
Yeah, it was actually kind of a pain in the rear to hook up, just because of that dry through thing, and running the H90. Anyways, I got it hooked up. I was hoping to be able to run it wet, dry, wet into my mixer, like Ryan without the cabs, but it ain't gonna happen. I double checked with Dave Friedman, of course, and Pete Thorne again today, and no, it's just not practical. So I've got.
Technically, if you had a speaker taps speaker simulator,
Yeah, the Palmer would do it.
the Palmer would do it. You could
Didn't I
come
send you
off.
this today?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yep. I was going to mention that in just a few minutes.
Oh well, I will order that because I see it on Amazon.
Now this
That'll
is
do
just my mind thinking.
Well, I'm gonna need it anyways, right?
Well, you're going to need something like that. Yep. And I would highly recommend that one, the PDI-09.
Good.
So you do a speaker tap off of that, and then you would come back to the input of your pedal, and that's
Yep.
what you're feeding your pedal, and then you could come out, you know, and this is where that comes in, the Jeremy White video. Did anybody watch that one?
Not yet. I've downloaded it though.
He's showing that he's going into the delays first and then the Eventide unit,
Yeah.
which I don't know that I agree with
I thought that was kind of strange. I thought
Yeah,
maybe he
delays
messed
always
up.
last.
Yeah, I would go into the Eventide first and then come out stereo of that into, you've got stereo into that pedal, right?
Oh yeah.
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 So take those stereo into that pedal, and then the out of that pedal, you could probably run that directly into the Rodecaster and have a pretty good signal
See,
with the mic'd cabinet in the middle. So you'd still need 3 inputs on the Rodecaster.
I'm gonna rehook this
I
back
have
up.
4.
I'm gonna tell you guys how I ran it. I know you guys are doing the traditional Eddie Van Halen style. I'm gonna do it show you guys the way the John Petrucci did it. I wish I could. I had it out at one point. I put it back in my rack. I have this one space. It's called a high gain professional amp switcher from Mesa Engineering. I had four inputs and 4 outputs, so I can choose up to 4 preamps or 4 amps. And so what I would do is I would use my tri-axis, my ADA, and a head. So like a PB6505. So was he in here? Kurt.
No. Yeah,
There he
before
is.
that, take a look at
What's up, Kurt?
take a look at James's comment.
Yeah.
You can fart in the Ryan setup, and it would sound pretty good.
Burn the sound hole.
Let's try it. How'd that sound?
No delay though.
All wet. There's no dry in that.
No, it's all wet. The dry cap.
Oh man. So
Sorry, R2. What were you
No,
saying?
that's
There?
that's funny stuff. I'm trying to find the video here, but I can't find it. No, so that amp switcher that I had, the tri-axis, the Mesa Boogie tri-axis, I'm sure you guys all have heard of it. It had 4 switchers on it. You would through MIDI. So when I would say channel 100 on my MIDI channel, I would tell it which switchers to turn on. So I would say use the tri-axis and the ADA at the same time, or one individually, or so forth. I was able to run the input into the amp switcher to the tri-axis, to the ADA, and my PV. And so the tri-axis and the ADA would run wet stereo into the effects into my power amp, Mesa Boogie 290. So that would be my stereo left and right. And
Those
then
are great
the
power
third,
amps too.
Yeah. The third one was the dry, the amp, the PV. So it had its own head, its own amp, and so that would be in the middle. So I would turn that on. That would always stay on. The PV head would always stay on dry, and the left and right would always be wet. And when I saw Ryan and Eddie's, I went, man, there's a lot of this. Put this into that, into that. I'm like, dude, this Mesa Boogie amp switcher is awesome. It's got buffers on it, so there's no noise. It's totally, you get pure sound out of it. And I thought that was the easiest way to do this wet, dry, wet. And my band members would be like, "What are you doing, man? What's the whole point of this whole thing?" I'm like, "Just listen to the sound of it.
Just wait. Just wait. Yeah.
Just let me get this hooked up.
And so I would show them when I would just run just that one cabinet dry with, just the effects. It would just sound all right, cool. And then all of a sudden I would open it up, boom, because I was able to switch them, mono or stereo on the fly just with the MIDI switcher. I had this Rocktron switcher, and they would just be like, "Oh, dude, yeah, you're right." And I'm like, "Yeah, man." I go, just once you have that sound, you can't go back. It's almost like I put a blanket over the speakers, and I just uncover it, and all of a sudden, your headphones just open up.
Yeah, clarity and everything. Yeah. So, I don't know, how that would sound, John, but I'm thinking in my head that technically that should work like that, and then you wouldn't need a power amp and additional speakers. You could just take the direct signal because you've already got cabinet simulation going into those,
Right.
and if you set that to your mix level pretty high on those,
Yep.
100% probably 100% wet, and then you just mix it in. You may need to leave some dry in there just to keep everything kind of glued together,
Yeah.
but I think that would probably work.
So my understanding with that Roland, it has noise gates on it. Is that the whole purpose of it? Is because you're trying to do that? You're going into the input of that and trying to go to three amplifiers.
I think because what you're doing when you're doing the wet, dry, wet, your dry signal is going through your preamp. And those can be noisy, right?
Right.
So this just clamps it down.
Okay.
But I got to go water a rock, boys. I'll be sorry, man.
So we'll be waiting anxiously to see how that sounds when John returns.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, this is
officially,
interesting because I'm curious to see, because I've been trying to watch videos and I've seen what's that guy's name? Rock and Chippy or something. Am I getting that right? I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that guy. Rock Chippy or something like that. The guy has awesome Van Halen gear, and he bought the pedal himself, and he was showing how he was running it in the wet, dry, wet. I just been noticing everyone has a different way of routing this pedal, and it sounds great. I guess you can use it multiple different ways. I just don't know if I were to get it, how I would apply it right now with my current gear.
yeah.
And yourself, like the way you have it routed, like if you were to get it, could you use it with the current gear that you're using, or would you have to basically start all over again to go like, I'm going to route it a different way?
Yeah, it would not be in the way that it was designed for everybody to use. It would be basically the same way I have this here. I would just use it as a 2 input, 2 out stereo unit because that's basically, all that I need it for. So I don't need all the 4 cable in the middle because I've already got that handled.
Right.
Kurt 5150. How we do?
Dirt.
Pro Mesa
He's
Boots.
laying low today. Big party at his place last night for his daughter's
Right.
graduation.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Nice, dude.
Congrats.
Congratulations, man.
Yep.
Is that the last one? Are you free now? Or do you still have some kids in school? It's been a couple years for me since my daughter graduated, and it's way better now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Back up here. Saw a comment from Randy. He was talking about his tech. He said he assembled the green Meanie before Vi painted it green. Robin Crosby's White King V, and was on the set of the Crossroads movie when they were filming Vi scenes. Very cool, man. So that's the dude that sets up your stuff. So it sounds like a pretty good dude.
No doubt.
Wow.
There's another comment coming up. There you go.
He had to glue the headstock back on twice after Vi threw it down for those scenes. Oh, yeah, at the end where he chunks it down.
Telling me they couldn't get like a Harley Benton to use for the garbage trash. Somebody couldn't just put something together.
Says he's currently building me a custom Star guitar. He owns a company called Rocket Pickups as well. His pickups are awesome. Very cool, man.
Right.
Very cool.
I kind of like
Right
that.
on, man.
You know, that question came up the other day. What guitar would it be? And after thinking and this and that, I was like, no, I think I want the Dime Bolt or one of those Razorbacks, either or. I got to get me some kind of a dime bag. I'm not a fan of the Dino. I don't like those big, fucky headstocks. I'm looking at Washburn, maybe something else. I always think back to the scene where Dimebag knocks the head off the V and it's just hanging by the strings, flopping around while he's on stage, just giving her.
Six Fingered is here. What's going on, Miles? Good to see you. Welcome in, man. Let's see. Anybody else sneak in?
Rock Daddy, you can give him a howdy hi, my loud brother.
There he is. What's going on, Rock Daddy? Good to see you. So I'm just reading through some of Randy's comments here. He says he worked for Yamaha before he moved to Georgia, like 10 years ago. I know he makes Joey Allen from Warrant's signature pickups, and he was doing some for GMP guitars. Is he still in Georgia? Is he around here somewhere?
Gonna get him on for a show?
Hey, take my guitars to him
Come
if he's
on down.
around here. Sounds like pretty good dude. Oh, let's see. There we go. Jimmy Ray had the same idea. Came on here as a guest and have a casual conversation about stuff. I'm open. Speaking of guests, next Thursday, Transtrim Thursday, we have Ben Cody will be joining us along with Lewis of Fairfield Guitars.
Lewis.
So we'll be finding out who the hell is Ben Cody.
I want to get one of those shirts.
If you look at the thumbnail, you'll see he's wearing a shirt that says "Who the hell has been Cody?" So we'll find that out, and then we'll see what Lewis is up to. I know he's been doing some signature straps for some different artists, and figure out what he's got going on in the future. Got some cool
I
stuff
kind of like
lined
that
up,
Frankie strap with the beer opener on it.
right? Yeah. Yep, pretty cool
Brilliant.
stuff.
Brilliant.
Let's see. I think John is ready to come on back in. Welcome back, John.
Consider the rock watered.
There you go.
All right, let's see what else is going on in the chat. We welcomed in Rock Daddy. Good to see you. He's saying
What's up, brother?
hello. We got Frank Kokorin in here. Welcome in, Frank. Did I say that right? Kokorin. Hopefully. Says all I'm using is 2 ABY Twin City amp switchers to use 3 amps for my wet dry wet setup. And see, like you were saying, R2, that's perfect way to do it. You use 3 amps. And if you're using the power amp section of them, then you've got the tone of your middle. Or
Right, that's dry. Yeah.
if you wanted to go into the front of all 3 of them, you can get a different tone. You have 3 different heads, 3 different settings on the preamps, and have everything in front. So a lot of different combinations that people, my tone, which everybody is familiar with now.
There you go.
See, that's my tone. So that's what I like. So somebody else, if they hook it up into the front of 3 different amps and they get something that sounds a little different, that's what they like. So a lot of different
about the
options
smiles.
for that. So there's all about the smiles, as Trev says. There's more than one way to skin that cat for what you want to do. So I think that pedal is going to be a pretty good pedal for a lot of different, applications that people may come up with. Let's see. Rockin' Chippy has all the good stuff. His name is Alex King, and his
There you
collection
go.
is
Rockin'
ridiculous.
Chippy. That's it. I just looked him up here.
A YouTuber?
Yeah, Rockin' Chippy. Here, I'm just gonna share this real quick. Just make sure we don't get a.
Yeah, just keep any volume off of it and seek to where you want to get to.
There's the. I turned the volume off.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You can see where he's kind of showing you with the power stations there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think that I've watched that one.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got all that good stuff, and then he records his playing with an iPhone microphone. I'm like,
See, he's using the Marietta for this power
station.
amp,
mm-hmm.
power station for the attenuator.
Yep. Yeah, everybody check out those videos. Rock and Chippy there, and then Jeremy White, of course, check that one out. He had a pretty interesting way to do it. And he also recorded. He said he wanted to show what it sounded like in the room, so he recorded it with his iPhone, I believe. It sounded pretty good.
Doing a video tomorrow, a better demo.
I don't know. Is there such a thing?
Better than his last performance? Yeah, I think
Love
he's
you,
pulled it
lads.
off. He's got
Really
the
do. Yeah, I mean that would be cool to have him hook that up 3 different amps.
John, do we get to hear it?
Never. No.
All right, so without further ado, we have an actual EVH pedal.
A drum roll or what? There it is.
Very cool, John. That sounded fantastic. It really does. So, question that I stopped on there as I was scrolling through. Jimmy Ray Hawkins says, Keeley Halo or EVH SDE-3000? I think that was just answered.
Just
Okay, no
happened
lost
to have
dose.
had both. I did have both.
So, your thoughts?
Different thing.
Halo's a great pedal. But it's very. I found for me, it kind of puts you in Andy's box, which is a great box to be in.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad spot. Yep.
At all. But as far as versatility and a lot of people argue the other way, but I the interface and all the rest of it was not for me. And this seems like a playground, right? I mean, that's one of 8 EVH settings there. This, and then I've got limitless ability to do whatever I want with other subdivisions and all that stuff all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, Stephen. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I got some good comments there. James says, nice. Frank says, really clear on his end.
Nice.
So,
Good, man.
and what people maybe don't realize about the SDE-3000s, you know, the original ones and that pedal, I could hear it as well. is just how it sits in the mix. You know, so like just me hitting this few. You don't really hear the delay until I stop playing. You know, you can hear it. It's prominently there, but... It fattens up the tone, but it doesn't get in the way. Exactly. You know, it's kind of... It's hard to describe.
That's exactly it, though, Ryan. It's like I find... Because, I mean, I play with a fairly... Like, my full-on dirt tone, this is it. Oh, no, that's not it. This is it. It's not all that dirty, right? But if you dig in... It fattens up everything. It just almost doubles it without making it. But you still have your... You still have your definition and everything, right?
And as you... venture on into that wet, dry, wet, you're going to find that comes out a little bit more because you always have that dry tone right there. You know, right there.
You're going to find that you're on a one-way path, son.
You're going to find that there's no going back. So let's get back to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Rock Daddy says it's great tone. What does everybody in the chat think of how that sounded on John's guitar there, as far as the delay? Let us know.
Oh, that's cool. It's almost like where Jeremy was saying in his video, if you're looking for that detuned sound right out of the box, you're not going to get that with this box.
Yeah.
No,
this is
not
just
at all.
An addition to
it's a piece of the puzzle on the way there.
Puzzle. Yes, you need that. You know, Eddie didn't use reverb, so that he used the rack for this reverb kind of sound with the delays, that openness, just to kind of get that echo sound.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I would say if you're... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Arto, you had a question. How's the 6505s doing?
Yeah. I just answered Joe Hervey. Still have my custom shop right behind me. And I bought off of Reverb, they make custom covers for it that fit the heads for them.
So I mean, with all your little toys there on top of it, how often are you actually pulling that skin off and firing it up?
I have to do it every time. I have to take the stuff off.
Yeah.
Take
You
the
should
pedal,
just glue it to a piece of plexiglass or something.
Like, in the
I just
fashion of
started
John
doing it 'cause
BL, make the little mini stage.
Thank you, Tony. So Stephen Franklin says makes him want one. The EVH pedal, I'm assuming. ET5150, welcome in, man.
What's up,
he
man?
says awesome.
Cheers.
Frank says it sounded good. Let's see. Here we go. Joe says it sucked. He's just kidding. Real good. Nice plan.
I would say, because I had the DD500, and that had an SDE-3000 algorithm in it, and that was the one I used. This makes that, in my opinion, a plug-in as opposed to...
wow.
Yeah,
That much better.
Big difference.
So you're happy that you went ahead and got it.
$939.
Oh, my word.
That's
okay, though.
500s.
You got to convince yourself that you're happy with it then.
No, because I had a El Capistan, Strymon.
Oh, you did some horse trading.
And UA Reverb. So with taxes, I paid $90.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it worked out.
Okay, yeah. Very good.
And simplified my board.
Roland Young said tone sounds amazing. And Stephen Franklin again says makes me want to get one.
Try one. Do yourself a favor and try one.
Yeah.
And William, yes, he's playing that BE 100 Deluxe right there.
Yeah. BE 100 Deluxe for sure.
And
The
two mics.
The thing to remember too is that this is just mono. So you can imagine
Yep.
once you start getting crazy with it.
This was his first step into a new world.
Right. Just got it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt's got a good point. Eddie did get the wet, dry, wet idea from Lukather. Let's see. Yep, BE behind him. Steve used to triple his sound in the studio. during recording. Then he linked the 3 amps wet, dry, wet in like 1983-ish time frame. Yep.
Yeah, and I think John Petrucci got the idea from a guitar player from Dixie Dregs, Steve Morris, where Steve Morris would, thank you, where Steve Morris would, God, somebody handed me a beer here.
How's that work?
Wow.
Wait, let me try that.
What button do we push? What's the shortcut for that?
Yeah, exactly. Keepers.
Woo!
Man, oh man.
Yeah, Steve Morse would have the volume control pedal to kind of, swell into the effects in there. And John Petrucci started using it in Steve Morse, and I go, it's a pretty good idea. But I never did that. That would have been a great idea to just kind of swell the effects and to get the reverb and delays. And so I was going to ask you, Ryan, if you ever thought of doing that, just to add it kind of like a MIDI expression pedal, just to kind of.
I used to do that, but I always found that I kept it all the way down. I just kept the effects on
Gas
all the
pedal,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. There never really was anything that I was playing that I wanted to pull any of it out, so I didn't see a need for it. But yeah, it's a cool idea.
My turn to water a rock. Be right back.
All right.
Oh, it broke the seal.
That's it. Once you start, you're done.
Yep. Let's see. Randy Price says Kurt 5150. He's telling him that Bob Bradshaw tried to get Ed to go wet, dry, wet when he built the 5150 and OU812 tour rigs, and Ed wouldn't do it. I'd heard that as well. I'd heard he was trying to get him to do it back then.
So he was just stereo then?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Live Without a Net is stereo.
Stereo.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yep. Still sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
going to be
sure.
a Fruitcake Tony trivia question there.
Right?
I would actually, well, maybe, I don't know. But to me, the Live Without a Net tone is the pinnacle of that sound of Eddie, that era of Eddie.
Yep. That's what I've always been chasing. Yep.
Yeah. Doesn't get better than that.
Let's see. We have B Stealth joining us. Welcome in, B Stealth. Long time no see, man. Thanks for joining in. Stopping by, have a beer, hang out. Cool, man. Good to see you. B Stealth, old buddy that I used to play Quake with.
Nice.
Let's see. Bradshaw built Luke's rigs back then too. Yep. Fred Burful is joined in. Good to see you,
There
Fred.
it is.
What's going on, man?
Welcome in. And welcome back to Trev.
Welcome back,
That
Trev.
was a
Everything work out okay? Oh, he can't hear us.
So that's how I used to do it at home, man. At home, I would do the wet, dry, wet. When I would go to band practice, it'd just be stereo because it was just too much to carry that one other extra cabinet. And so with the Marshall cab I have behind me, the one I have in my garage, is stereo. So it'd be basically two 2x12s. So I was able to go left and right on one cabinet. And I was able to mic it so that way you can get the whole stereo sound off of it. Cool. Or you would just have the 3 cabinets. But my bandmates were like, what the f*** are you doing, man?
Yeah. Frank says the Dixie Dregs. The Dregs. Is that who you were talking about?
Yeah, Steve Morse.
yeah, great band.
I think that you may just have been playing that. Rob says, can John play Feelin'?
I can try. How did Ed do it?
What's up, Rob? Back.
have stopped while I was ahead.
That sounded
Sounded good, man.
good, man. Really good. I can tell a difference in the delay from your previous rig to this.
90?
I can already tell. Yeah.
And it's not like the other delay was a slouch. I mean, that was a Eventide delay.
Yeah.
But this is just, yeah.
This sounds really, really good for sure.
I was going to say it makes me play better, but I just chowdered the hell out of that. So.
That's all right. We don't care.
Did you want me to play a couple riffs to make yourself feel better?
No, that's fine.
Go ahead, Trev. Jam something out. Yeah, we don't care. This is a place of no judgment.
That's right.
It's about the smiles, man.
All
If
about
what
the
you're doing is
smiles.
bringing you the
Yep.
smiles, then you've got the power.
Let's see. We have Dennis Ellis has dropped in. Welcome,
Dennis.
Dennis. Says I'm a little slow today. Hello, everyone. Hope all are doing good.
Right, we got
You
your
as well,
feature.
man. Thanks for jumping in and joining us. And we have Holly Lewis. Welcome in,
clouds.
Holly.
What's up, Holly?
It's all
clouds.
fluffy chords and fluffy clouds.
Holy.
Good to see you, Holly. Welcome in. Let's see. Anybody else show up?
Ferd.
It's too bad we didn't
Ferd
have like
phone in the
a.
house.
Bird.
We got Ferd a little earlier, but we'll say
I wish we
hello
had
again.
like a phone number hotline to call in. You know,
Right?
Is the caller there?
I
Maybe
don't know
when
if
I
you remember
maybe-
Holly calling into one of the shows and she was pretending to be Elton John.
Well, maybe when I get big time and I can afford a second phone line, maybe we'll do that.
Just do
better
the, what is it? The WhatsApp calls?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then on WhatsApp, you still
You still have to use your phone number,
You
yeah.
have to use your phone number. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ryan
You
will be
want to have a
getting phone
burner
calls
phone.
at 4 in the morning.
Under the Bus fellas did some of that call-in stuff, and it really was so much better than any of the other call-in stuff I'd seen beforehand because of the Bluetooth with the Roadcaster.
With the Roadcaster,
Jay's
yes.
end, right? So you could actually, the fella doesn't have to mute his end and kind of not
Well, they-
hear it.
Yeah, there's a
Going
mix
on.
minus feature on here so that when you have a caller, it doesn't send their own voice back to them. So, yeah, I can do it with this thing for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe one day when I get over 1,000 subs.
You're not doing this. I have David Lee Roth on the phone here.
Right?
Putting your phone up to the microphone.
Well, let me see. I might have Dave here. Let me give him a call. Hello? Is that you, Dave? What's going on, man?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else happening? Is that it?
Oh,
Okay. All right.
How's
So-
that delay pedal?
yeah.
You like the new delay pedal?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wish that you weren't an ass back in '95 and could have joined Van Halen back then?
Yeah.
All right. Good talk, dude. See you. Evidently, he likes the pedal too.
Good for Dave.
It's in a good place.
All right, let's see what else is going on in the chat here.
Herb just showed up. I saw him sneaking in through the kitchen door.
All right, let me scroll down, make sure. Yeah, almost missed Zach Thong there.
Everybody
Welcome in,
sends him
Zach.
some
What's in here?
positive
What's up, brother?
vibes. He's getting better. He had a procedure of sorts done.
Who? Zach did?
No, not Zach. Herb.
Oh, you're talking about Herb. Yeah,
I saw
welcome
on
in, Herb.
Facebook's there.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Positive vibes for Herb. Let's see. We also have Timothy Lay jumping in. Welcome in, Timothy.
Right.
up,
Good to
man?
see
Where are
you.
we at here? 37. Rock on.
37.
1
Welcome,
hour
happy
down.
Sunday.
And things are just getting better.
There we go. Holly, Diamond Dave on the line. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Save your seat up front. Holly's got VIP. VIP.
VC status.
Why don't you rock that purple thing?
What should I rock it out to?
I woke up this morning with a song in my head.
Well,
Pound
if I know
cake.
it. Pound cake? No, a little bit of that. You're going to have to do the for me.
I could get a drill. Give me a minute.
Quick
Drill
funny
press
story.
doesn't sound the same, right?
Quick funny story. When that came out, It took forever to figure out what was going on as a drill. So I went down in my basement, I was still at home, and my dad had an old Black & Decker drill. You plug in the wall. Mm-hmm. You guys ever been bit by a mic singing when you're playing the guitar? Same thing.
Yeah.
Wolf!
Man, oh man. I think I have a drill around here somewhere, but you got to have a drill with no clutch on it.
No clutch, no brake. Yeah.
No clutch. Yeah.
Man, I can't remember. Maybe I was dreaming it.
Maybe somebody should write a song using a drill with the clutch. You could get a little more of kind of a gent thing going, right?
Somebody on somebody's live stream, somebody was using a drill, and I remember John DeShane commenting saying, "There's something wrong with your drill, man." Like, I forgot what show it was.
All right, so pound cake, huh? Let's see what we can do here. I don't know if that was right or not, but there's something that sounded like pound cake. Huh?
Making me smile.
Oh, and then my favorite little piece of that.
So good.
With that cathedral delay kicked in. See, that delay, I can hear it right there. It's there, and it's making things nice and fat, but it's not in the way. People people just don't understand,
So
sometimes.
this is what I was thinking this morning, man, when I woke up at 3 a.m, believe it or not. I was thinking about the lexicon.
The PCM70
CM70
that I have right over there in the rack.
Yeah, so
What were you
lexicon
thinking?
was owned by Harman, which used to be owned by Harman was owned Digitech. I know Digitech sold the company. Who owns Lexicon reverbs and all that?
Lexicon, I believe. I think they're their own
They're
entity.
still their own. Okay.
So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The Lexicon is a piece of the special sauce for a rig setup.
Right.
However, if you're not doing, the rack setup, you don't need it.
Jeremy was talking about that in his video about the Lexicon.
The reason that he used the Lexicon was to split the signal, and it had a special buffer in it.
Right.
So that when he split the signal, he didn't get any additional noise out of it. And it just so happened that he was able to use it for his cathedral delay in front of the other delays.
There you go.
So my 250 and 500 delays are on all the time. And then when I turn on the cathedral delay, which is 424 milliseconds, which John could put another delay in front of his pedal at 424 milliseconds and get cathedral.
Because I've had a lot of friends ask me why I run my delay through the effects loop as opposed to the front of the amp, and I said it depends on what you're looking for. Kind of like the Echoplex.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a channel switcher, you can't really, because you set it for one and it blows up in the other, or you can't hear it and you're clean, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, you're right, totally, R2.
yeah. So
The Echoplex, if you set it for, your crunchy, yeah, it's perfect.
Right.
yeah. So if you're not doing a rig and you want to set another delay in front of your stereo delay, you'll get an approximation of this.
love, man. That's what I love.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Hearing the guitar playing, talking about gear. Yeah.
Dig it.
Hoping
That
everybody
guitar-
in the chat's digging it.
Yeah, that guitar, it really seems to.
Like that.
It's got the nice top end that I personally really like.
Yeah,
But
this
it's still
one,
got balls to it too, right?
yeah,
you
this
got a
one has
good
turned
find on that
into
one, man.
a really, really nice unicorn, man. Just the top on it, the neck,
The neck with the
just
flame on it.
the feel, the gold hardware, the pickups sound great. I mean, this one is rivaling one of my U.S. models.
Did you leave the
When we gonna flip the
pickup
switch?
selector the same way? I know you were. I don't mean to mention that one day, but you know.
Well, on the last stream, I had swapped it,
Screwdriver. Yeah.
and it didn't work because it was shorting out against the body.
Yeah.
So on stream, I had to get it over there and flip it back real quick so that I could get through the show. And today, before the show, I did get it flipped. So
Nice.
in that position,
I noticed
is
you were
the-
playing it. I thought it was in an up position. I'm like, you had to have done something with it.
That's
Yeah.
the treble position, isn't it? Up top?
up top. That
Yeah.
up is now
Yeah.
the bridge position. Yep. So it is now in the configuration that I'm used to. I don't know why they do that. USA models are all like this. Up is the bridge.
See, in my standards like that. My standard, I believe it's 2016. My 2016 standard is up is the bridge position,
yeah.
and down is the neck. My
don't know why they
USA
changed
obviously is
that.
that way. But when I play my Made in Japan special, it's down. So I have to have like a little sticker that reminds me to go that way.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. But yeah,
Les
so-
Pauls are like that, though, right?
Well, Les
No, Les-
Pauls are opposite of this.
Opposite.
Yeah,
That's-
that's what I mean. So that's probably why they do it, because
Well, I know
Everybody's-
why. I know. Well, yeah.
For the tapping. Right.
So when I play my Les Paul, the P90s, I'm so used to flipping it up, thinking it's the bridge position, it's the neck, and then I'm like, oh, jeez,
got to do the old switcheroo, man.
gotta do a whole switcheroo. But I can hear with the P90s, you can tell the difference.
But the whole reason that I like it in that position is because that's typically where you are when you're tapping.
When you're
So as you
tapping.
come over and you're tapping, if it's
Oh,
down
yeah, believe me.
here, it's like you come over and the first thing that happens is you flick it up.
It goes up. Believe me, when I play my Made in Japan one, I love it. But every time I go to tap, my forearm hits it, and it goes. Boop.
Yeah. Yep.
Hope he's
See, again, I'm getting to where I can't stop playing it once I start playing. It's just so much fun.
once the train's left the station, you're
It's
that's
like
it.
just keep on going. All right, let me get to the chat and catch up here. What's going on? Let's
Jimmy
see.
Ray's got a question for you.
All right, let me see if I can get to it here in just a minute. I think the last. Oh, Rob Blackmore was requesting comfortably numb. Maybe a little bit. Let's see. Zach said I was outside most of the afternoon doing yard work. Well, appreciate you stopping in.
You need to spend
Scrolling,
a couple minutes
scrolling.
going through the chat.
Dark Side of the Moon, 50 years.
Guitar Man 45's got a Lexicon PCM 80 and a 91. Very cool. Let's see. Thank you, Ronald. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your support too, Ronald. You and Patty and Donald. Really, really appreciate it. Let's see.
Thank you,
Ferd
brother.
says
I've been
you-
using this, man. Thank you, Ryan.
Bert says you got a good one there. Oh, you lit one too. Very, very nice one. I mean, this I hit the jackpot with this one. No complaints. You know, I'm almost to the point where if I could find another one local like this one, I might buy it.
I'm looking for one. I'm gonna go to my local guitar center and see if I can find one of those for sure.
This one is so good, so good. Welcome in, Quentin James.
Oh no!
It's taking an old kid nap. What did I miss?
Oh jeez.
You got to go back, watch it two times the speed.
Missed about
back,
an hour
bro.
and 15
I'm
minutes
back.
worth of stuff. There's some gold
All right.
in there, Hills.
All right, everybody, be quiet. John's on it.
Okay.
Oh,
Very nice, John. Very nice.
I was just trying to do some moody background music for you.
Oh no, no! You start.
on it,
We're
man.
gonna pull you up to the front, make you nervous.
Who gives the?
Yeah, we don't care. Let's see.
What's Quentin James going to unfriend me?
He might.
He's
Got a
threatening
question.
to.
Question
He's
from
threatening
Jimmy Ray Hawkins said, "How is the string alignment on the high E? Is there room so it's not falling off the edge of the fretboard?" Hate asking this question. It's been an issue on some guitars. I haven't had any problem with it. Let me see if I can get a nice close up. Move my drink out of the way there.
Oops.
Was that me?
No, that was me falling off the high E string. No, it works good.
That was perfect, man.
There is. It seems to have really, really good alignment. You know, it's not real super close. I don't know if you can see that in the camera there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks good, Brian. Yeah, you can see it.
Now,
Yeah.
Oh, you got all
It's
kinds
above
of
the
room.
bevel, so that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're looking for, right?
now, I think he's asking it because if you go from an R3 to an R2 or R2 or R3 to a
Well, the Music
the
Man's
width of it.
were like that. I mean, the Music Man's were really, really low. So I know what he's saying, but I
Yeah.
haven't had any issue with it. I haven't had any issue.
Now, Marty Freeman. This is just what reminds me. Marty Freeman, obviously everyone knows from Megadeth. Great guitar player. There was
Epic guitar player.
There was an interview he was talking about, and what's it? I can't remember his name. Taylor, the guitar player from Bad Company. Do you guys remember that solo from Bad Company where he's doing this great solo, and there's this note that he hits that ding, 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 and it just kind of goes off like he meant to do it, but I guess when he hit that note on the high E string, it rolled off the edge of the fretboard and it hit a note that was perfect with that last note he hit. So Marty Freeman asked him, he's like, "Hey man, when you wrote that solo, how did you know to hit that note?" And he said, "I didn't. It just my finger rolled off the string rolled off the edge of the fretboard and it went ding 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 ding, and it just went
Happy accident. Yeah.
Now I gotta do it
happy
every time.
accident. So when you time you hear that Bad Company solo, remember that. Just remember. I can't remember the name of the song. I remember the solo, the song he's talking about. I just can't think of it at the top of my head.
That's
I know
cool.
everyone in this chat has probably heard this solo from Bad Company. If you haven't listened to Bad Company, shame on you. But I know what he's talking about, and that's that roll off when you hit that note and it just rolls off the edge of the fretboard, and you don't mean to do it, but that solo when they kept it. They kept that take, and
Yeah,
it's
I mean, if it
memorable.
fit,
Marty
why
Freeman
not?
went like, "That's genius."
Yep.
And he's like, "I thought he did it on purpose," and he's like, "No, dude, it was just a freak
This
accident."
happens to me a lot, but
Hang
I
on,
chalk
Trev.
it up to bad posture.
We got Jim Dales is in. Welcome in, Jim.
Right on.
Yo, what's up, man?
He's got a quick question. If given a choice between the solar burst and purple burst, what would you choose? Purple burst every
Right.
time.
And
Yeah.
this guy too, probably.
Oh yeah, all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I might do the solar burst. I got the Tiger here.
That looks great.
It's funny you asked that because the solar burst, they actually had one at one of the guitar centers I went to earlier this past week. And I think it was an older model. It had been there for a while, and I just was not impressed with it at all. And then, and the color of it, I mean, it's a cool color. It just wasn't for me. So purple burst every time for me. What about everybody else in the chat?
Purple nurple.
Purple.
For me, it really becomes function over fashion. I don't care what color it is. It's got to feel right.
See, you kind of get to a point though. Eventually, though, you're like, man, I want a guitar.
When
that
you're dropping
looks
$3,000 on a guitar, you know
Right.
that now at that point you just pick the color. What color do
See,
you want?
I'm kind of that mind frame too, and I found a Les Paul that I liked, and it sounded great, but I just hated the clown burst on it. But it sounded so much better than all the other ones, so I went ahead and bought it.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I did. This was some time ago. And I just couldn't get past the color of it. It sounded great. I loved
Yeah.
playing it. It's just I couldn't stand to look at it. So
But sometimes you get lucky, like the Gibson Les Paul. I mean, everyone knows what I'm talking about. When you try to look for a Gibson Les Paul that's right for you, not all Les Pauls. They may look great, but when you pick them up, you go, ah.
There's a whole bunch more
No.
R numbers there. Our Ds are 5, or
There's
4,
a Paul
or 7,
Reed
or
Smiths
8, or
you
9.
pick up that are just look phenomenal, and you go, oh man, it doesn't feel right.
Yep.
But when I picked up my Gibson Les Paul, and then the color Pelham Blue, this Pelham Blue top is just just in the different light. I just love it, man. Better than the gold top.
very cool.
Right on.
Quentin says he sees that you paid your electric bill, Al.
Yeah, that's what you think it was.
He
Oh,
gets
that's
him
a
off.
power.
Man.
They shut his power
Dude.
off. Yeah.
When you don't, it wasn't so much the power. The power flicked on and off. It was off for a little bit, and then it came back on. It was the internet. The internet was like, dude, you don't realize, and
Well,
when
that's
you're
big
just
storm
using
had
your
come through here.
LTE from your
Both
phone.
went
You're
down,
like,
and the electrical came back on well before the cable. I mean, they obviously prioritize, and the cable guys can't get in the way of the hydro guys because
right. That's what I think. That's what happened. The power came on like right away, but you guys need internet? Chill out, dude.
Yep.
just use your phone. You got
All right, let me-
Use your phone. Right.
Let me catch
exactly.
up in the chat here. Ferd says that was awesome tone, John.
Thanks, buddy.
Quentin says just don't play that string, the E string. Jimmy Ray says to John, that was awesome.
Thanks, man.
So some good comments there. Dan Gorman has jumped in. Welcome in, Dan. Good to
I
see
swear
you.
I saw him earlier, but maybe it's a Mandela effect. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
Yeah, he's
I'm
been here.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm like
He's been
6
here.
minutes late in the chat here, so let me catch
Well,
up.
no, I thought like at the beginning of the show he was in like one of the first
Oh.
20 comments.
Not sure.
Maybe
Well,
I'm
you're not
flashing
like
back to a
Pete.
different
Pete
show.
gets like an hour behind.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I think I'm going to end her here pretty soon. I'm like, well,
Don't
hold on a
talk
sec
like
here.
that too.
Yeah.
right?
William
Don't
Silva,
talk like
welcome
that.
in. Good to see you. Let's see. Randy Price. Yeah, we caught Randy already. Let's see. He's got a comment there. Kurt Hammett pulled the high E off the fretboard during the Master of Puppets solo
Yes.
and they left it in. Very cool.
I was gonna just mention that. Yes.
Let's see. Guitar Man 45. Did we say hi to Bo?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Purple.
But he's got a green one coming.
Did you get your H90
Word
yet,
on the
Bo?
street.
No,
get
July,
dirt.
right?
How we doing?
Dan says it's his birthday tomorrow. I'm getting old. What are you getting for your birthday, Dan? You
Dude,
got
for
something
your-
picked out?
For your 21st birthday, man. What do you got?
Somebody got
Charles
that.
75 ends jumping in, saying hey now. Welcome in,
Hey,
Charles.
Dr. Fabric in the house.
Dr. Fabric.
This is
Yeah,
this is
everybody-
the guitar Trev needs to get right here. Right here.
What are we looking at? Oh, that's a
like a
Razorback. Yeah, yeah.
That's my Dean custom shop right there.
that headstock.
I
Man. Sorry,
never,
man.
I've never been able to get over that headstock.
Don't like
You
it?
wanna-
If it's a walking trim, I mean, it's cosmetic again, and now functionality over cosmetics,
Yep.
and just
Some guys
some
love
good
that
DNA in
headstock,
that
so
thing.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like that dime bucker in the bridge? I was thinking of getting one. Pretty
That's
high output, right? 1.16
Ceramic
KI.
too, isn't it?
yeah, that's a hot one right there.
She's hot, baby.
He's hot, baby.
It's hot in the hot tub.
But this right here, this is a DiMarzio super distortion right there in the neck.
You know your bridge
Ridiculous.
pickup's hot when you're using a super
didn't John
distortion.
use a
Distortion in the
JB?
neck, yeah.
I thought Dime used a JB in the neck. Well, he also had a lot of those Bill Lawrence pickups too, right? That's basically what that dime bucker's built after.
Very cool, dude. Very cool.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Let's see. Dan Gorman said he's getting an EVH Phase 90 for his birthday. That's cool, man.
Oh, there you
Right
go,
on.
man.
Quentin says his first birthday card was a cave painting. I can believe that.
Yeah.
No, like on the side of the cave, or did you get like the tablet, like the Ten Commandments, with a little "Happy Birthday, Quentin"?
I think that Digitech RPX 8479 47127 LGGPY Mark II was
Great
probably,
video, by the way.
That
Thank
was
you,
probably
brother.
his second video or second birthday present, right? Yeah, Quentin says that's a worship band guitar that you got there, R2. You play that on stage
Exactly.
at church.
Yeah, that's it. Quentin had some good gear back in the day, man. I'll tell you that, man. He had some good Mesa
Yeah.
Boogie gear, some BC Riches, some Gibson Les Pauls.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
some of that old footage is killer.
I guess maybe he had
is
to
a
pay
rock
his
star.
electric bill too.
We just haven't heard
He
of
did.
him yet.
Yep. You got a comment on that? Steve says, nice axe.
There you go, man.
Let's see. Jimmy Ray Hawkins says, I bought my son a dime
Dime
slime
slime.
for Christmas
Yeah,
year ago.
case is, yeah.
Case is
Right
huge.
on.
Yeah.
That's my two biggest cases. That the Dean Razorback and the Jackson Kelly. Man, coffee tables.
Speaking of huge cases, I finally got a case for my my Shark guitar. And
Oh, you did?
It
Yeah,
would be big too.
That,
wouldn't
that
it?
sucker is
There you go.
is huge. Well, because you figure the body shape, and then
Yeah.
the way it lays in there, it goes this way.
Right.
So they have to have enough room for the neck to cradle in there. Yeah, that thing is probably good 18 inches wide,
Right.
20
yeah.
maybe. Yeah. It's
Imagine the
huge.
case for Steve Vai's Heart guitar.
or the Hydra
It's in a
or
crate.
any
Hydra,
of those
yeah.
crazy
Hard
things.
case.
Yeah.
Foam embossed hard case. So John, he's coming to town. Are we gonna go? It's at the
Yeah.
freaking rickshaw,
Yeah.
dude.
Mark II.
Mark II.
Frank C says,
Let me-
"Evening, gents. Just getting back
Hey,
from
what's
dinner.
up, brother? Frank
Welcome
C.
in.
Cheers, man.
So what else has been going on? We had, I don't know. I'd probably get slammed for a copyright, but had a request for this. How about just the first little part, like I did for the short?
Who was it from?
Yeah.
Comfortably numb.
See if I can remember where this starts. I kind of cut this off so that I could practice it over and
Night
over.
when we
So
were just hanging
let's-
out, you and John playing at the same time was kind of cool. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys want to try and venture down that path now, but
Let's see.
Just
He's
saying.
in E standard and I'm in E flat. That should
you
be
gotta get
great.
your
Yeah,
guitar.
no
You gotta get your pearl.
All right, let me see what happens here. right, there we go. That's enough.
Oh, hang on.
There we go.
That was nice, Ryan.
And there we go.
You know
Thank
what's
you.
funny? One thing I've noticed though is that core tone fits in with so much, right? I
Yep.
mean, you think about you're playing a double humbucker Willy Wonka guitar, really, and he's playing an old Strat with beat up pickups and
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
high watts and pedals, and
Yep.
you know it fits right in there, man.
It just blends right on in. And I think a lot of that is, you know, the way that I'm routing it, all coming from the same source. You know, the
100%.
backing track and the guitars are all coming through the Rodecaster instead of, you know, micing up the guitars back there on a phone and then hearing that come through the computer. And this Rodecaster, man, it's just awesome. Awesome for practicing, awesome for what we're doing here, and I just love it. But,
What's
One of the
shipping
best
date
piece
there
of
for your
kits I've bought in a long time.
R2? You got a Rodecaster Mini coming or something, don't you?
Yeah, on order. The Duo.
Right.
Here, wait till you want to go wet, dry, wet.
Well, I think you can expand that one. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you can bridge them together, right?
He'll be like, I should have brought the Rodecaster full one.
It's out, man. I mean, from when I was looking at Guitar Center online, it's like not available.
Yeah.
Need a
Yeah, they were hard to
forklift
find for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Big.
Rob Blackmore's talking about a bass case for his Slamer hammer. Let's see. Or the case for Nielsen's 5-neck guitar.
Oh,
for sure.
man. From Chicago.
Yep. Jimmy Ray says, go numb. I guess that was when I started playing that. Frank C said, fire. Janice said, awesome. Fur Burfle says, wow.
Nice.
Rob Blackmore, beautiful. Thank you. You're welcome. I enjoy doing this, so you don't have to thank me for doing it.
I mean, you said that you some thought towards copyright strike. Now, if you're doing the shorts, do you not get as much harassment for copyright strikes because it's under a minute and it can't be that?
Oh, you do.
You can. You can.
You can't do a Beatles short.
I started looking back through some of my shorts and a lot of the stuff where I didn't even have anything else playing. It was just me doing guitar. Like I had one for the Dance the Night Away where I was doing the little tapping portion, and it picked that up and it said copyright strike, dancing in the, Van Halen. And
Yeah,
where I did the Hot for Teacher one, where I was like, let's see how did it. I got a copyright strike on that. There was no backing track or anything.
Another one coming.
Right? Another one
Inbound.
here.
you'll get the copyright claim on it.
Well, it's not a strike. It's
It's
a
a
claim.
strike, yeah.
Yeah.
The strike is you have to, they'll tell you to take it down. You have to fight it.
Yeah.
There's one that you get. I have it on one of my shorts. It's a Judas Priest song. I'm trying to remember the name of the
Really?
song. But it gives you an exclamation point. It's like the triangle with the
Triangle,
exclamation point right in the
Yeah.
middle.
It says
And
it's
so
not allowed
basically
in a
what
certain
it's telling
country
you-
or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just telling you that, and that's the video that you get the lowest views because it's just not in the algorithm.
Yeah.
It just
Pressed.
won't promote
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Just people in the United States will get it, and that's it.
Family and
Frank C says, I'm like a kid on Christmas morning, can't put the Purple Burst down. I can't. Once I pick it up, it's hard to stop playing.
He showers with it.
Yeah, took it to bed the other night.
Well, I
Yeah,
asked him,
woke
how
up
does
next
the
to
wife
it.
like having that in the bed?
Holly says, awesome, Ryan. Thank you, Holly. Let's see.
Was chatting with Ryan there about the copyright strike thing, and it doesn't really kick in till 1,000 subs. Really, we start mattering.
Monetize, right?
So I said,
Yeah.
from day one, he's been accruing debt with YouTube. So as soon as he goes to 1,000, they're going to send him a bill for $52,000.
I owe the Van Halen camp probably $150,000 so far. Yep. Let's see. Holly says, can you imagine the pressure of having 150,000 people who paid big bucks to come see you play? Got to get all the nights.
Woo!
Pretty much.
Janice says she'd like to find out. I would too.
Me too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. And what we're doing here, I don't sit down here and practice every day, over and over and over, just to come on the show and play, some little shorts and licks and that and whatnot. But if it's a professional band, that's out touring, they're practicing all the time, or at least practicing before the tour to get everything correct.
I would actually kind of argue that what we're doing is more difficult because we're just making stuff up as we go along.
Pulling it out of our butts.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's like, do I even remember that? Whereas, once you get your road chops, you're just executing.
Yeah, it's just
It
all
was a
muscle
swing
memory.
ransom that came.
Nerves would be the other thing, though, right? That could get you.
Yeah.
You just walk out on stage and wet your pants.
Where the happy juice comes in handy, right? Get some happy
Yeah,
juice.
that worked well for Ed, didn't it?
Yeah.
That you gotta, I mean, how many times have we talked about when you play something by yourself, you're in your room and you're just jamming and everything sounds great. And then I hit the record button and I know that little red light comes on and all of
the
a
E
sudden
strings
I just
rolling
go,
off the bottom of the fretboard.
retake,
Yep.
retake. And then sometimes you just have to just pretend like it's not even there. Don't even. I had to put a piece of tape one time over the camera, not over the camera lens, but actually
just
where
the
the
light
little red that, so I
Oh,
wouldn't
red.
see that red light. So it tricked my brain. Like, okay, nobody's watching me.
Mr. Franklin says he's
that's
hoping-
messed up, R2.
Right? Isn't that messed up? I had to do it after I was. It was. Doing a Van Halen solo, man. It was one
But
of
you
the
know
big-
what, though? Like, I one of Pete's streams not too long ago, he actually, I don't know how this conversation came along, and he's like, I'm the worst, man. I'll do, you guys see these videos and everything's great, but I'll do 15 takes of something just to,
It
you know.
happens to the best of us, man.
Yep.
And it's something that if I'm comfortable with the song that I'm playing, the band that I'm playing, I don't usually think about it. But if it's a Van Halen tune, for some reason, I'm always thinking that there's right away someone's going to be looking at it. I'm fretting it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the wrong note.
You hit the wrong note, or
You're not playing that right. It's not the right tone. I shouldn't be doing that. But the minute I see that red light goes on, I'm like, if that thing isn't on, I can play it one take, no problem. All of a sudden, all right, it's time for me to play. Hit record, go, hit the
You just
dog.
gotta
All right,
invest
done.
in a couple of really big, like maybe a little server, like a 10, 12 terabyte server.
Where it's
So
recording
that you
somewhere
just
else.
have it on all the time.
Yeah.
It's like CCTV. The camera and the sound is always on. You just show up and you don't even think about it and you sit down. But then you have to go through the hours of footage.
There you go.
You have to go,
Yeah.
yo.
Let me catch up in the chat here. Stephen Franklin says he's hoping that his gets here Thursday. Ordered it in April. Do you have any tracking information or shipping information? I know you're getting anxious to get that thing.
Usually, when I would do the recording, I would need one of these before I started.
Quentin says I went to bed with a Wolfgang and woke up with a Glary.
there you go.
I can see that. Lifestyle choices.
Dennis says that was wild. Was just going over ZZ Top song for this coming Saturday night. Looked up, and there they were. Oh,
Bobby,
Mr.
damn it,
Quentin
Bobby.
James says I play as fast as I can and I fix it all with auto tune.
That's brilliant.
Cool.
Here's a word of advice: use your index finger and your right hand. Do a little cheating.
Stephen Franklin says waiting for that email with the tracking. Man, we're anxious for you to get it.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
should have stopped while I was ahead. Yeah, this is one of those guitars that, man, it's hard to stop playing.
Yeah.
Sounds great, Ryan.
It does.
Thank you.
I dig it.
Here's the thing, man. See, like yours looks nice.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look anything like that one, does it?
Like that,
Yeah,
like
it's
the
less
black.
tiger, more beachy. That kind of looks more like that aqua that you have. We were looking at side by side, Ryan. I mean, and that aqua doesn't look terrible. I mean, I dig it.
Thing
But
I
it's- it
find though
doesn't
is
have
that the
tiger
burst,
stripes, right?
the burst is hard to get almost right on those. It's like you've got just enough, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, otherwise I don't know. To me,
Yeah.
it just gets a little too much.
And the
around
lighting,
edges.
the lighting that
The
you're
lighting,
at, too.
yeah, that's the thing.
You know, everybody needs to remember that I am in a room that is lit purple. So, you know,
Anything purple pops.
it's going to make this pop. And, yeah, this thing.
You all have to remember, I'm a raving lunatic.
I changed the lights in my room according to the guitar I'm playing. Thank you very
That's
much.
right.
What's wrong with that? You know?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
You could always have
It's called enjoying the
people in
fruits of
chat
your
change
your
lights.
hard work your whole life.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Quentin says, yeah, but those SDE-3000s ain't got no drum patterns.
I bet
No
they
drum
do. Just don't know
patterns.
how to get them out.
I don't care.
There's a drum pattern there, isn't there?
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can load a drum pattern into my Rodecaster here.
Pretty percussive, I'm gonna say.
Let's try that again.
Right on, man. That's sounding good. Oh, now I'm anxious for you to get the wet dry. I'm like, come on, John, let's get it going. But that sounds great, just like it is, man. Happy for you. That sounds
Thanks, man. I
fantastic.
appreciate it. It's,
Yeah.
It's like when you're, 13 years old and your one friend got the cool BMX bike, and you still had the banana seat bike with the 3-speed shifter in the middle with the sissy bar on the back.
You got the Huffy,
And
and
your
your
other
friends got
buddy
the
gets it,
Skyway.
right? And he's got a Diamondback. This guy's got the Kuwahara. Oh, here's a red line. You finally
Right,
get
Red
that.
Line, Skyway. Oh my god.
Yep. You get excited for your friends on stuff like that.
well, it's funny. They have this thing called, what's it called? Amp something or other. And it's amp. I can't remember. I showed you, Ryan. Remember? It's like a power unit and a little 212 cab all in one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, nah, that's not real. I can't sell myself on it. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Quentin James says how do I block John? Asking for a friend.
You go to his page and you watch all of his videos. You click the thumbs up once.
Yeah, yeah. Frank C.
Frank.
Frank C says great tone, John. Dan
Thanks,
Gordon,
man.
awesome. Holly says the sewer sounds awesome, John.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for that.
The
Yes, sir.
Eaton John.
Yes, sir.
You are correct,
That's all right.
sir.
Yes, sir.
That gear shift broke every kid. Oh man, oh man.
At least once.
At least once, yeah. It's funny, I saw a little video, was it on Facebook or something, and it said, there'd never be another time like when we were kids, and they were showing the
Grab some
homemade
scrap lumber and build a ramp and
the
jump over
homemade
your fence.
lumber with the ramp, yeah. And I was like, I remember doing that. You know,
I was that
remember
one kid, man.
We
And then we got a dirt bike. Are you kidding me? Now we've got
yeah
combustion
we
engines.
had I had a cinder block, you know, like just your regular cinder block, and I turned it on its side, and we had a piece of must have been a piece of 2x6 or something, and it, you know, it was a big thick piece, and it was, you know, probably, I don't know, 24, you know, 2 feet or something like that, and that was our homemade ramp. And I had the bright idea. I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I turned the block upwards and then increased it.
You just go up high.
And I went off of that thing, and I had a good old, you know, steam behind me, and went off that thing. And I cannot believe how high and how far I went. Coming down, you know, it's like Steven said, you definitely bust some nuts. But, you know.
I was that kid,
That's how
man.
we
I
learned
was
physics
the one.
back then.
Yeah.
I was the one that would show everyone on my block, my neighborhood, how doing those ramps and how far you can do it. And I used to be the one to do those flips. And my friends would let me. They would lay down. They would just lay there. Up to 3 kids would I would go, I can jump you guys, and I would show them because we would put like a stick wherever I landed.
Yeah,
So I go, this is
exactly,
how
Holly.
far I can jump, and this is
long
how where
jump.
I'm going to land. And
Yeah.
so with it, I go, and they would see the stick, and they're like, all right. So obviously the first kid would be like, well, I want to be closest to the ramp because there's no way you're going to
Not
land that,
necessarily,
right?
but okay.
Yeah, 'cause they're just like, well, if he can jump this far, I'm going to be the first guy. I'll be the
kinda wanna
second
be in the
guy,
middle.
and
You
you can
got a
be
lot
the
of
third
cushion.
guy. And just make sure your arms are like this so that way it'll land on your wrist. So that would jump them. And then there'd be that one kid who's like, yeah, I want to do it. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And the kid wouldn't lift up. He would
Yeah,
just
Steven,
go.
what
He would
could
just
go
go
wrong?
forward.
Yep.
And I literally saw the front tire land on the kid's nuts, man.
And probably some
Yeah.
dental work afterwards too.
Oh,
with
man.
the face full of dirt.
Yeah, Holly says no helmet and you lived. And afterwards, we went and drank water out of the garden hose.
Exactly.
Man, oh man.
Yep.
Patrick
I
says
always
we
got a
used to
kick out
build
of riding a
ramps.
BMX bike, sitting backwards on the handlebars. You know, you can just sit up on the crossbar and pedal backwards.
Pedal backwards, yes.
So
I was
Patrick is
always-
saying,
I mean, I
let,
had
let
to
me
get a
get to
bike.
this comment here, Trev. He says, we used to build ramps from stolen construction supplies.
Exactly.
The ramps were so big we needed landing ramps. Yeah.
Well, that's when you have to really start doing the math, because there's nothing worse than overshooting the ramp. You're
Or
landing right,
under-
right? And we've seen that
undershooting.
go sideways. Robbie Knievel looking at you
Yeah.
a couple times. You get your head of steam and you come in way too hot. It's coming in too hot. It's coming in too hot.
Oh man. Did you finish your other thought that you had a minute ago? I guess so.
That's enough time. Yeah.
Yeah. Frank says, I know I got some brain damage from not wearing a helmet. It was just clean fun.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
On the BMX bikes. But when we switched to dirt bikes, I wore a helmet.
Yeah, the good old days.
I had one of those experiences with the big jump too, where we had dirt hills, lots of dirt hills out in the prairies of Alberta. So you'd find a nice little pile of dirt that they were preloading and stuff, and there were little hills, this and that and the other, and you just give her. I hit this one day, and it was like, again, one of those, gonna shoot you a 9-iron. It was a 9-iron, not like a 3-wood.
Straight
right?
up.
It was
Yep.
like, holy crap.
Yeah, when you land.
We had a one of the ditches in front or on the side of our house. It had this little wear spot in it, and we found that if we rode our bike up it, you know, we could jump out of the ditch and on into our yard. So we would get a full steam on the street, and then veer over into this ditch and hit it at like an angle, and we'd jump up the ditch. Yeah, so that was kind of a natural ramp for us.
Natural ramp.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good old times.
I remember the blind faith we had too, right?
Oh yeah.
You never went and checked to see if anybody messed with that whole little situation at all. Just went for it.
Yep.
And there was lots of times guys would go and something's changed completely and they're too far into it. It's tree time. Hello.
You're-
The
you're
terrain
committed.
wasn't the worst part for me. It was the randoms. The girls showing up with the dog. We had this hill. It was called the roller coaster because it kind of did a little whoop, whoop, whoop. So it was this valley, and on the way up, you would jump the valley and land at the top of the hill. On the way down, you'd swoosh through the valley and come flying off the end and go down. I come swooshing through the valley and come off the other end, and I'm landing, and there's a fucking hound dog right in front of me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Kinda
Right
love
in
it.
front of me. Hammer on the brakes, front brake too much, face into the crossbar. That's why my nose is crooked. Big gash here, 5 stitches. And my bike goes.
And see, the things that you learn when you were a
To
kid,
this day, that's why my back hurts.
you
That's,
carry on to your kids. So it's the weirdest thing on all my kids' bikes, my daughter's bike, both my boys' bike. I take off the front brakes.
So no endos.
No, yeah. And they're, hey, what are you doing? And my wife's bike, I went, front brake's gone. Clip it, take it out, and screw it. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, no front brake." Why? Because I go so many times you're in a panic and you hit the wrong brake and you hit
let
the
them
left
get
one
good with
first.
the back brake, and
And
then you slowly introduce a front brake, and that a kind of front brake that you can't hit hard and lock it up. You gotta
Yeah,
have
no,
just
I've
the
seen
right
so many
amount of-
people hit that front brake and see ya.
I mean, Ryan knows. We've seen him climb the mountain of doom. What is it, Blood Mountain?
Blood Mountain. Yep.
On his
On our
RC.
BMXs, we didn't have any brakes. You just use your foot
Your
on the
foot.
side and the back. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, we had to have that fancy little gooseneck with the fuller cables for the.
That's why my
Yeah.
so you
parents
could
my
spin
parents didn't
around.
understand why I needed shoes all the time. They're like, "Well, I just bought you a pair of shoes. What'd you do to them?"
It's my brakes.
These are my brakes.
Michael B. Live, welcome in, dude.
What's up, man?
He says
Hey, buddy.
he
Good
would
to see you,
ride down the hill, off the dock, and into the lake. Rob
Went
asked,
through a
him-
lot of
Preferred
bikes.
landing.
yeah. He says, "Did you ever have that one friend with tire tread marks on his forehead?"
And 2 missing front teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven's talking about the brakes digging in and going over front. Yep. Holly says Oklahoma currently you can go helmetless if you are over 18, but there used to not be a helmet law at all.
I've learnt my lessons. I definitely want to protect my melon at this stage in the game more so than
lessons.
ever before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the helmets now they have. I mean, do they have the HUD? You can have a little HUD of your phone inside. And you got the earphones going, and you're. I mean, it's.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, an $1,800 helmet to go
What's
with your
probably a
$8,500
$3,000
bike.
helmet, John? Come on. now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Holly's talking about thank goodness for the brakes in Quentin's car. You guys remember that? Almost hit that
Oh,
little girl.
man.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
He says that's still in his head. Woo.
Not bad.
Jimmy Ray
Gonna wake you up
says
for
it
you.
was all about 3-piece Cook Brothers cranks, Skyway wheels, tough necks, and everything anodized.
Skyway, man.
Pretty
Tough
shiny
enough thing.
things.
What was
Love
it?
the
flight
Skyways.
cranks. The red line flight cranks. Those were the creme de la creme.
And a pair of pants from Sears called Rough Skins. Or Tough Skins.
Tough skins, yep.
I love the Skyways because I got a story real quick with this. My brother, who's 7 years older than me, Marine Corps, and him and his buddy went to a motocross. They used to do BMX racing in our hometown, and they came across some bikes that were unattended,
Uh-oh.
and these bikes disappeared.
wrong.
And what my brother did was he grabbed my frame from my bike and he upgraded it with all the parts.
Unbeknownst to you.
Yeah, I got you new tires, new rims, new crank shaft, everything, the handlebars, the grips, the brakes, everything. And I'm like, really? So I was riding this bike for, man, I
All that
loved
stuff
it.
that
All
doesn't
my
have serial
friends.
numbers.
Yeah, so my frame had a serial number, but all the other parts were just, you can tell it just didn't belong. And I was just like, my brother gave this to me, man. And I have police officers come up to me and chase me down and they tell me to stop. And that was the adrenaline I used to get when I was younger. I used to tell my wife, I go, man, these cops would tell me to go like, hey, come over here, kid. I want to talk to you. And I'm like, really?
Go.
Boom, come chase me. And I
that's
would
right.
just be
You'd have to
riding
catch me
down these
first.
trails, riding down the neighborhood. I lose track of them. They would lose track of me and try to find me. And my mom would just be like, "I'm tired of all this. The cops are coming up to me. Why are they coming up to me? The parts are stolen. The bike is stolen." My mom's like, "I bought that bike for him." And my mom saw the bike and she goes, "Where'd you get those parts?" And I'm like, "Julian gave them to me, man. I don't know. He bought me these
Found
new
'em?"
parts." And she goes, "You bought them?" So she asked my
they
brother,
belong to a friend. I'm just borrowing them.
and yeah, it's just like my brother's like, "I don't know. I was over at my friend Marty's house, and the bikes were there, and so we were just trading parts and stuff." And the cops kept on coming up to me, and it got to a point where I had to donate my bike to my cousin. It was just that's how I got my first guitar. This is where I'm going with this. My mom was like, "That's
we
it."
were wondering.
We were like, "Yeah, no, this is where I'm going with this." My mom was like, "That's it. I'm getting rid of your bike." I'm like, "You're selling it?" She's like, "No, we're giving it to your cousin." And I'm like, "Why are you giving it to him?" I'm like, "That bike is awesome." And she's like, "No, that's it." And I'm like, "Well, I need
Yeah,
a car."
exactly.
She's like, "Well, you're not old enough for a car." And I'm like, "Well," I told my mom, "I'll give up my bike if you buy me a guitar." So we went to the local music store, and that's where I got
That's
the guitar. Which
The
is
old
this,
Epiphone.
It started.
Epiphone right here. Still have the neck with the.
Holy
sticker of
Christ,
the
that's a
music.
lot of empties you knocked over there, pal.
No, that was just one. That was just one right there. It's
Sounded
totally
like a
empty.
lot.
It rolled.
It just rolled right next to my knee. Yeah. So
No,
this
it's
is
the
memories
statute of
right here.
limitations, right, Quentin? Just saying. We can talk about that now because I was in a similar situation where through no event, a random event, we found out that one of our friends, his bike got ripped off. It turns out his folks' house insurance would cover it. He'd get a better bike. So we actually went through about a half a dozen friends who were like, "Leave my bike out in the backyard tonight. I'm good.
You found the
So,
insurance scam.
I'm gonna get a new bike, and then you can have all the old bike shit." So again, I had a Frankenstein kind of BMX bike
That was-
fitted with
that
all
was my
these parts for
Frankenstein,
these
yeah.
different things because we'd mix and match it, so there was no "that's it" kind of thing.
And that
right?
was the whole thing where I'm going when you said Skyway. I had this whole thing of like my bike was a Skyway without the frame. It was a Mongoose frame with Skyway parts.
You
with
both
mixed
you
in with
both have
other-
the cold case crews in your local counties now pulling
That's
these
right.
files.
Limitations got to
Yeah.
be 10
Oh,
years.
they do. I mean, they were
Underage bike theft. There, come on.
they came after. Even when here I am playing my Epiphone, that same guitar, and I hear that. You're looking for Al. Where is he? I'm right here, man. Where's that bike? It's in Texas right
Somebody
now. man.
stole it.
Talking about.
It's in Texas.
Good stories, man. Good times.
Yeah, it's fun,
Good
eh?
times.
Ultimately, one of my peer group's undoings when we were 14, 15 and up to no fucking good was we stole a couple motorcycle helmets off a bike that were just sitting there. And we took them to the pawn shop and pawned them off and got enough money to go get some weed and some beers and be stupid for a night. And it was one of those situations where you get the knock on the door a couple of weeks later. Officer O'Reilly's there. It's Officer O'Reilly.
Hey, you rat bastard, you coming with me?
So parents had to pay the money back. You have to write a letter of apology. Blah, 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 blah. You're gonna go live with your dad. You're moving to Vancouver. Oh, meow.
The cat's not happy about that.
Thieving
He's
bastard.
happy to see me.
So
He's kinda
was
hoping
it
I'm gonna see me.
was it they found him at the pawn shop and they said,
Yeah.
this is the kids that came in and
It took a
described
couple
you.
weeks for that red tape to go through back then. It was like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Dumbass is using your ID to pawn stolen shit.
Oh
What the
man.
heck? That cat is. Meow,
Yeah,
where's my
he's
bike?
aggressive. He's hungry. You got to piss off. I'm doing a show. Yeah, I'm serious.
Wow.
He comes in here and he'll jump up on the keyboard tray, rubs up against the guitar while it's apart. Come on.
There you go.
As long as the cat
pest control.
Did everybody freeze? Oh, it was just Trev.
His cat stepped on his router.
Damn it.
Travis
Don't
like
catch a
this.
mouse.
Well, gentlemen, it's 2 hours 6 minutes in.
Nice.
Already?
Ready to wrap it up for the day.
Oh, goodness.
Still sunny here.
Well, we had 37 watching as of right now and 34
Nice.
thumbs up. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out.
Awesome.
Once again, thank everybody here on the panel.
Thank
R2,
you.
R3, thank you for coming and supporting. Trev. And,
Damn it, Bobby.
John, thank you for stopping in and
Thank you,
sharing
sir.
that new EVH pedal. It's nice to hear one that's
Awesome.
hooked up properly and that we can actually hear it. So appreciate
I
you
bought
sharing
it.
that.
I bought it, notwithstanding Laz's video.
You were committed either way.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. Get back to the chat here. So everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming out. I see Ferd Burple there, Stephen Franklin, Charles 75. Appreciate the comments. Joe Hervey, thanks for stopping in. Hope to
Thank
see
you,
you
brother.
again.
Thank you, everybody. for
Frank
hanging out
C,
with
Rob
us.
Blackmore, Zach, William Da Silva, Jimmy Ray, Quentin, Janice, everybody that stopped in. Dan Gorman, appreciate all you guys stopping in and hanging out with us while we're acting silly and just playing some guitar chords here. Yeah, Hit Metal Works, always a blast. Appreciate you guys showing up. Herb, yeah, good to see you. Hope to see everybody back. Remember, like I said, next Thursday we've got Ben Cody, and Lewis from Fairfield Guitar Company.
Lewis.
So that should be a fun time. We'll play some of the Trans Trim riffs and hang out and chat with those guys and see what happens.
Who is that band guy?
We're gonna figure that out.
Figure it out, man.
Wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
I want to buy that shirt that says, "Who the hell is Ben Coote?"
Yep, for sure. So
gonna
make sure
find
everybody
out.
tunes in. We'll all find
forward
out
to
who
that.
the hell is Ben Cody. So we'll see everybody. Ooh, that sounded pretty good.
Yeah, you got it.
Nice sounding bike.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that at your area there, John?
Guilty.
Nope.
Oh, that was Trev. Okay,
Trev.
That was the cat taking off.
that was a good sounding bike. I could tell from through the mic.
Nice, didn't it?
Yeah.
Cat's like, "See ya."
So, anybody in the chat got anything else before we go? Any questions, anything for us before we split out of here? Let's see. Jimmy Ray has something here. He says, I mentioned this earlier, and I think it was lost in the mix. I'm going to see about donating an item to your show for a giveaway.
Ooh, dude,
That
you
would be
rock,
awesome,
brother.
man.
Far too kind.
Big round of applause for Jimmy
Awesome,
Ray.
man. Awesome.
That would be
guy, man. What a guy.
certainly be an awesome gesture, and we would gladly give that away to someone. So I appreciate that support. I really do.
Such a
Thank
wonderful community.
We'll have to start
here.
a trivia segment.
R2,
Just
you're in
for
charge.
R2.
The train leaves Chattanooga at 43 miles an hour.
Yeah, man.
Oh, we're doing
Plane
math
flies
problems?
from
I'm
Los Angeles at 342 miles an hour.
in. We're going to
All
St.
right.
Louis. What time do you get
Dennis
there?
Ellis
What
giving
time's your
us a
first
thumbs
beer?
up. Yep. All
3
right.
o'clock.
Cheers, man.
Again, thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see everybody next time.